Joining me now is Kate Hardcastle, a consumer and retail expert, and she's in Wakefield. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. I'm going to ask you the same question as I asked Joe, really. It's a big day for House of Fraser. Does today's deal secure to some extent what will remain of the business?
Well, that's the theory behind it, but I think we need to take a very realistic look at the retail marketplace. The brands that really have struggled this year sit in the middle market, and there's many reasons for that. They're just not innovative and changing enough to suit a very fast-paced consumer who's had their eyes turned away from the middle market, either to discount brands like Primark who've come and taken over the marketplace, or more innovative online brands like ASOS. And unfortunately, if you don't innovate in this market, or you're not selling at the best value, you're going to have challenges. And these almost cumbersome department stores have become some kind of a almost antique in a retail marketplace that's very cutthroat.
But when you talk about the middle market in that way, is it also slightly lacking personality?
These are bland brands in the main, unfortunately. House of Fraser itself had created a business around selling other brands to keep going, but lots of the brands that made up its portfolio have now created direct consumer relationships with their own websites and their own direct-to-consumer sales opportunities. That means it's really difficult to understand what this business has created as a sellable format in this CVA discussion today on what the future might look like. Certainly it's a lot of store closures, but how quickly it can turn around, how big it can make a difference in the retail marketplace is what still remains to be questionable in what is very, very challenging consumer times. And I'm afraid that they've not said enough publicly at the moment. It gives me the reassurance that today is the end of the discussion and there will always be a House of Fraser flag flying.
Moving it away from House of Fraser, I mean, how do you see the future for the UK high street? It's struggling at the moment. Ultimately, are we all really going to do our shopping online?
Don't think it'll ever hit a point where everything is online, but it's not just the case that online has provided speed, efficiency, and perhaps sometimes cheaper prices due to the fact that operationally it can run a little bit leaner, and that the high street has always had challenges with rent and rates, and as we've heard, the wage going up. I think it's deeper than that. I think consumers were tired of quite a bland offer in terms of what a lot of retailers were offering out there. And I think they've seen change and they don't feel the desire to shop anymore in traditional spaces because it's not really something they feel comfortable doing with their time. Experiences are selling and outselling material goods. People have had their eyes wide open in terms of what great retail can feel like. And I think we've got to work on the high street in so many ways. The basics, the councils and the leaders need to look at toilets and parking and accessibility, making it a longer economy in terms of the time of day. It just can't be 9 to 5 around retail. It's got to have nighttime economy as well. But, you know, the retailers themselves that are going to remain part of that high street amongst perhaps more theatres, housing, etc., are going to have to really fight hard to stay relevant.
Really interesting. I suppose there are some things that you can't do online. You can't get your hair cut, you can't get your nails painted. Are we going to see more of that sort of business on our high street rather than goods?
I think it's very much like a pendulum swing in that the more technology provides, the more these retailers have got to really serve us with the things that you can't get online, as you said, the services, dental practices, even doctors, childcare, nurseries. We've heard a lot of the department stores' turnaround plans, including Debenhams, who've also had profit challenges this week, have talked about including these beauty bars, hair bars in the fit. But there's only so many haircuts we can all possibly have. It's, I think, got to be towns and cities that have got their own story to tell, and then it invites us in as the public because we want more of a community feel. So yes, I think there will be more services present. Yes, I think retail will become more social, but I'm really hoping the basics are put in place so that we can actually go and really enjoy those communities once more. It's an evolution, it's not the end, but it's going to need time, effort, and some really sensible thinking.
Really interesting. Good to talk to you. Kate Hardcastle, many thanks for your time.